All right, so after today's lesson, you should be able to find the greatest common factor of two or more whole numbers. So we need to remember what factors are. Remember, those are numbers that multiply to give us another number. And now we're going to find the greatest common factor. It's the biggest number that they have in common. All right. So just start with this first one. We're going to write this one down, 24 and 36. So we're going to find what they have in common. So one way to remember this is to draw a big F for factor. And then we're going to put 24. And we're going to list our factors. So remember, we do factors using the factor rainbow. So we have 1 and 24. This is an even number, so we're going to use 2, and 2 times what gives me 24? 2 times 12. And then if we add 2 plus 4, we get 6. So we know 3 goes into 6, so 3 times 8 is 24. Does 4 go into 24? We actually may have to use a calculator or divide, because we don't really have a trick for 4. You could just multiply 4, 8, 12, 16. But yes, it does. It goes into it 6 times. And then does 5 go into it? No. And then we're back to 6. So our factors are 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, 8, 12, and 24. Okay, that's a lot. And then 36. I may come down here and do 36. So 1, we always start with 1. 1 and 36. It is even, so we know 2 will go into it. 2 times what gives me 36? If you're not sure, then divide 36 by 2 or count by 2s, however you can get there. Okay, that's actually going to be 18. Well, what's 3 plus 6? 3 plus 6 is 9. So we know 3 will go into it. And I know that that's 12 times. Okay, so again, you may just divide that, or you know, multiply it out. 3 times what? And then what about 4? 4 is one of those that you just kind of gotta know or multiply or divide, depending. And we also hopefully know our multiplication, that 4 times 9 is 36. And then there's no 5 because it doesn't end in a 0 or 5. And then we know that 6 will go into it because 2 and 3 went into it. So 6 times 6. So our factors of 36 are 1, 2, 3. I probably should have put here. Let's do that. Why did I put it on this side? Let's put the 36 over here. So it's going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, 9, 12, 18, and 36. Okay. So now what we're going to do is we're going to find what they have in common. Okay. What they have in common. I'm going to change the color so we can do that. So we have 1 in common. We have 2 in common. Hopefully you'll circle yours better than mine. 3 in common. Whoops. We have 4 in common. We have 6 in common. We don't have 8 or 9, but we have 12 in common. And then we have 18. We don't have any more in common. So this is the greatest, which means the largest common. The largest one they have in common is 12. Okay, so the biggest number they have with the biggest value is 12. Okay, I'm going to show you a different way to do it, and you can pick which way you like. This is called a Venn diagram. Okay, so if we take our factors of 16, so we have 1 and 16. I'm going to try to squeeze it up here. It's even, so 2 and 8. 3, 1 plus 6 is 7, so 3 won't go into it. We know 4 goes into it because 4 times 4 is 16, so we're done. Okay, so we know our factors of 16 are 1, 2, 4, 8, and 16. So let's do 30. So we have 1 and 30. It is even, so 2, and it's 15, because I happen to know that half of 30 is 15. 3 goes into it, because 3 plus 0 is 3, so 3 times 10. 4 does not go into it. 5 goes into it, because it ends in a 0. So 5 times 6 is 30. So our factors of 30 are 1, 2, 3, 5, 6, 10, 15, 30. So how a Venn diagram works is that we're going to see which ones they have in common. We're going to put that in the middle. Okay, so this is 16. This is 30. All right, let's draw a line here. So they have 2 in common. They have 3 over here in the 30 and 4 over here. They do not have those in common. They do not have 5 or 6 or 10 or 15 or 30 in common. And over here, we don't have 8 or 16 in common. So these circles represent what they have. This is all of 16. This is all of 30. This is called a Venn diagram. Okay, so what they have in common is 1 and 2. What is our largest number? The number 2. That's going to be our greatest common factor of 16 and 30. Okay, make sure you can pause this and write it. Okay, now this one over here is not going to take us as long because we've already done most of these numbers. So what if we have 3 numbers? Okay, what if we have 3? So if we have 3, you're just going to do the same thing. You could do another circle on your Venn diagram, but we've already done this one. 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, 9, 12, 18, 36. I'm just getting this from right over here because I've already done it, okay? And then 16 we have also already done, which is right here. So 1, 2, 4, 8, and 16. And then I would just do one below that. So 12, I'm just going to do this one really quick, and I'm going to move my picture because I don't want this video to go too long. Okay, so where is my cursor? I don't see it. There it is. Like my song. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, and 12. All right, so then let me change my color real quick. Let's go to orange. All right, so then we have to figure out what all 3 have in common. Okay, so we have 1. Woo, that's hard to draw. 2. These 2 have 3, but this is not there. They do have 4 in common. They do not have 6 or 8 or 16. So the greatest common one is 4. Okay? And if you really like the Venn diagram, you could always do a third circle. It gets kind of confusing that way. That'd be a whole nother lesson. Okay? And here's a little, you can pause it and read.